Greater Anishinaabe Nation, which includes Algonquin, Ojibwe, Ottawa, and Potawatomi. Now we ask you to please rise if able and remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem.
Hello and welcome everyone. OCAA men's basketball action. Durham Lords first in the East 9-2, taking on the 5-6 Algonquin Wolves. And Lords open up score. Quick fast break on the back of a steal. Durham have been a very, very good team. Their only 2 losses this year coming against the Centennial Colts in both of those games. And another steal. As Jay-Sean Elliott almost loses control, and he's got back-to-back buckets. Jay-Sean Elliott, 4 points, and we are 40 seconds into this game. Looking to be a good one, and another possession almost going for Durham. Instead, they're going to give this one to the Wolves. Algonquin has a spooky shooter on their behalf, and that one goes the way of Durham off a missed pass for Algonquin. Key to the game, Robert Opena. It's not close. He is the 4th best in terms of points per game, 21.5 in the OCAA. And coming off the new year, back-to-back 30-plus point games. It's nasty.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting one for Durham because can you shut them down? They're one of the best defensive teams. They always are. Let's see what they can do against one of the best scorers in the league.
Durham's second best defense in terms of points allowed, and Matthew Iacono, welcome into Durham. A recent transfer in, picked him up in that downtime, picked him up out of the Loyalist Lancers. With the Lancers there, he had a pretty good stretch of games. He was averaging 13.3 points per game, a 42% shooter from the field. All around a very, very good guard for that Loyalist squad.
Yeah, it's an interesting pickup because he does shoot 22% from three, which is something that Durham struggles with as a team. But they clearly have a player profile, and he fits it. And you saw when Durham posted that they had acquired him, there was a lot of hype around this signing.
So the other new addition for Durham, Rommel Russell, picked him up out of United Scholastic. He's coming in. He's off the bench right now. And Durham, a real good opportunity here for those guys. They picked them up for the playoff run. And this team very much poised to do so. Remember, the host of the OCAA Final Four will be the highest remaining seed in the East Division. You know, after all the playoff brackets happen and all that kind of thing. The point stands. You want to host a playoff game, and you want to be the first seeds. That way you can take that extra. Durham has been fighting with Centennial and Georgian to keep that King of the East title. And so far, keeping themselves afloat. And a good screen there set by Rashane Smith. Kicks it low. Javade Marn, he's also back now. In addition, Rashane Smith tried to play nasty.
Here we go.
Part two.
That's exactly what they needed. This is the start they wanted. You're 9-2. You're trying to stay ahead of Georgian. This is an Algonquin team you should beat, and you're doing your jobs early.
Opena comes up short, just about an air ball there, but clips the rim just in time. This is Elliott. Iacono low. Marn off the backboard and in.
What a pass from the new addition. Just incredible. He's played 2 games for the Lords, has 18 points in those 2 games.
New addition, of course, you're going to work through a couple growing pains, but in his first game here in the CRWC, seeming to be up to speed, and Javade Marn takes a shot.
And if you want to learn an interesting fact, that's his first assist as a Durham Lord.
No complaints there for sure.
Average 1.7 per game for Loyalists, so he's used to assisting here from time to time.
That was a entire line change, front to back, all 5 for the Wolves.
Yeah, clearly a shot at how they've opened up this game. And Elliott to Smith, and he tries to go up. He's fouled. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
And the Algonquin coaches, quite animated. Let him shoot it is their call. I don't know if that's what I recommend against a team like Durham.
Yeah, but
you know, averaging 82.5 points a game, 9th in OCAA, you know, 5th best field goal shooters in the entire league. I don't know if that's exactly my call.
Goes 1 for 2 from the line.
Iacono, hands in the air, and Marn jumps over him. And he's calling the foul. And it's 2 shots here for Nestor Vival. Nails his first. And Algonquins made their way onto the board after 3 minutes. Not a start you ever are looking for against a squad like Durham.
Nope.
1 of 2, and Iacono has some wild height for a guard. Marn.
It seems he's playing more inside the paint than anything. Marn. Deo inside to Smith. One more. Marn. Not a three-point shooter, and he floaters it in. 13-1. What a start for the Lords.
It just hangs up there, and this is a style of defense we haven't seen from Durham since that head coaching change of this full-court press and just guns blazing all the way down the court. It's something you like to see, and a missed shot. Rashane Smith
Just threw it out, and a mistake.
Cognitive error.
Gets it right back. And a blocking foul going to be called on Vaval.
And Caleb Carter steps in here. Javaid Marn to the bench. Elliott. Deo from three. No good. Iacono swinging for it. And
yeah, they were eventually going to get called for a foul there.
so there were a couple ones there that, you know, came down with a little bit of force on that chop down there. Caleb Carter, another excellent defenseman there. Excellent in that press coverage. Never going to give you an inch for free. We'll have you in contact the whole time. Loose ball, no foul. And they're going to call him on it eventually. Elliott in coverage. Vaval sneaks through, but loses it. Still Wolves possession, down 12 in the opening 4 minutes. And bucket, no.
That's going to go to Durham. This is incredibly, this is a defensive masterclass from the Lords just 4 minutes in here. They only allowed a point.
Doing very, very well. Elliott
thought about
threatening the shot.
Good move to Carter.
Iacono fighting for the ball, down low, loses it. Carter.
That's a
stepped.
great move. Wow.
Wolves clearly not afraid of this Durham squad. Iacono kicks it. And shot up from three. It's
Boom.
Elliott.
What a shot from Elliott. He's expanding his range as his OCAA career continues.
Elliott has done a great job this year. And we were seeing him in the warm-ups. He was popping three after three. I don't think I saw him miss one.
Yeah, all these players so talented. It's just about getting it translated onto the court while there's players actively guarding you. I talked to some former players, and they mentioned in practice that almost everyone on the team shoots over 60% from three in practice. It's about getting it onto the court, and what team can translate it best. That's up. And a foul called. Don't know who it's on. It's either Chambers or Spencer. Let's see who it was. I believe it's on Chambers.
First shot up and good. Second, 2 for 2.
Confident, composed. That's what you need at the free throw line.
Elliott kicks away. Caleb Carter, no good. Deo. Foul called against John Deo.
And a ton of fouls in this first quarter already. So he'll shoot 2 free throws he'll shoot 2 shots at the free throw line. Wow.
2 free throws at the shot line. I like
Yeah. That's what I was going for. Just a tongue twister, making sure everyone's paying attention.
Absolutely. You know, you got to stay on your toes. And shot up and good.
If they're going to hit their free throws like this, it's a great sign for the Wolves. That's how you come back against this Durham team.
Second shot. Good. And Durham, I think they're learning their lesson about giving them these free throw shots. Slowly but surely, at least. Carter down, kicks it across. And Durham get it back. Elliott kicks. Fahik from 3.
Wow.
Butter.
Just another great shot by the Lords. They can't miss right now, and it's a turnover right out of the inbound. And it'll be on the baseline as it never got touched by anybody on the court.
Well, that was a great play there by Caleb Carter. Got up in the face of the intended target. And now the Lords down at the baseline, 14 seconds. Fahik, holy hops, reels that one out of, frankly, Narnia. Caleb Carter, no good off the back of the rim.
Was a great three-point shooter last year. Struggled to open up the season here.
Good poke, brings it free. Spencer, Elliott, little step there.
Just couldn't finish. Driving, what a move. Chambers couldn't defend him.
Chambers is not a short guy, and if you're able to put it over top of him with his hands in the air, you know what? You can have it.
Yeah, Fahik to Elliott. Thought about it. Gets it into Chambers. Double teamed. Nearly
Still
lost
has
it. Fighting. It's a turnover. Chambers couldn't get it out of his hands.
Well, he was swarmed, and he had an opportunity maybe early on in that possession there to get rid of it, kick it back to Elliott for maybe a shot at 3, but not exactly what you're looking for. Fahik, the steal.
To Elliott.
Elliott.
Going up.
Hello. Welcome back, Jay Sean Elliott.
Yep, that's what he did in his first year. Got an injury, didn't do it so much last year. Continuing. Dunking. You could see the athleticism from Jay Sean Elliott. That's a good move, getting inside. Chambers straight up, good defending. Algonquin have it back. Floater doesn't go. Offensive rebound fought for. It's out. It'll stay with Algonquin.
And substitution here. We get the back half of this new addition squad. We got Rommel Russell.
And if there's one thing that Durham loves, it's a player that can steal the ball. Elliott leads the league in steals at 43.
Well, it almost gives shades of almost O'Shane Taylor Douglas when he was doing this for Durham. He was leading the league in assists, leading the league in steals, and that was the year, of course, they ended up second in the OCAA, falling to Humber in the final when Durham hosted last. Looking for maybe a little bit of a better situation this time around.
I mean, he's just been incredible. 3 steals the last 2 games against Centennial and St. Lawrence. He had a 7-steal game against George Brown when he had 13 rebounds, 10 assists, and 7 steals. So he is turning into quite the player for the Durham Lords. And it's almost like every season there's a new player who just rises for the Lords.
Well,
it almost feels like Smith's turn next year.
Shot. Welcome to the league there. Not quite going to get it. And Algonquin look to flip the script. Loose ball. Durham. And Algonquin's coaches not having any of it. And the players trying to get him to settle down there. Can't afford for him to go out early. Russell gets rid of it. Fahik tries to reel in a dime from O'Shane Smith. And the difference is 10. Couple substitutions here. And everyone hands up for Durham, but not enough to stop the second chance. Lords on the attack now, Rudy Fahik. Durham can't afford to keep coming up with these empty possessions. Russell, Fahik, Spencer,
Got to get out of here.
Carter low, Rashane Smith swatted, and it's Durham ball. Need to get it moving. Shot comes up, Russell. 2 seconds, one has to get it away. Does so, and he's got it.
That is incredible.
He had 4 seconds to dance all the way down low. Finally got away with it. That's just his 3rd game in the OCAA, and he's done a very good job here so far for Durham. And a great floater there. Ramel Russell. Javade Martin.
It's Chambers. Finds Carter. It's open. And it rattled around. Chambers got the offensive rebound. Fake by Martin. He drives. It's up. He's fouled. And he'll shoot 2 with 29.6 on the clock.
Durham have had a fantastic quarter. You know, they keep up this pace. You think the 100's there?
Yeah,
it's real early to call.
It's going to be tough to keep up the pace considering they're shooting 60% from 3 as Martin banks in the free throw. It's not something you see too often. Martin just taking his 6th and 7th free throw of the season, and he hits both.
Well,
now fairness, 4 for 7.
In fairness, did he play in the first half of the season?
Nope, this is his 3rd game as well. So he's almost a 3rd addition to this team. Had 12 points in the first 2 games. That's a drive and an easy layup.
Great ball movement.
Now the shot clock is dark for the Lords as Russell will slow it down.
10 seconds.
Carter to Smith. Had Russell. Swung it inside. Marn.
Makes
good
a
move.
couple men miss.
Can't go. Chambers up and in, but it is not in time. The Lords lead 25-17, but faltered a little bit to end the quarter.
Yeah, they had a little bit of a quiet run there for a little bit before they kind of got themselves back in gear. You know, those opening maybe 5 minutes was electric. The score was what, 16-4?
Yeah, they were dominating Algonquin, but Algonquin seemed to settle in, and they want to give themselves a chance in this game. Algonquin almost feels like similar to how the Durham women's team felt, where you just want to stick into it, and obviously it didn't work out for the Durham women's team, but maybe Algonquin, if they stay in it, they can have the late charge and win it. That's how you do it against the Durham Lords.
For me, it's been noticeable. Opena, of course, that initial starting line didn't see the court for very long.
No, they didn't.
But Opena, he's one for one. He's got his 2. He is not on track to hit his 21.5.
And you would assume he sees a lot more of this court. Jay-Sean Elliott's been terrific. He's got 9 points, 2 assists. Another one, Rashane Smith, 3 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. So he's been pretty good. But it's been Elliott and Marn early for the Lords. You're starting to see Marn play more like he did last season when they won the OCAA championship.
See, this Durham squad, they have all the firepower to go back-to-back.
Yep.
And
they have the firepower to go and avenge their team and win the national championship.
It's all there for them. This one, of course, it's going to be a long trip. You know, the last one over in Montreal. This time, it's all the way out in Vancouver.
Yep. And it might be beneficial because there was a large Humber crowd, and it's going to be hard to get the large Humber crowd out to Vancouver if they do end up playing, which is always possible because those two teams just seem to find each other in the playoffs, and in big games.
I mean, they're the two, I'll say, kings of the OCAA, for lack of a better word, and Marn going to take his couple.
And Durham, honestly, they before 2024, 2025, they hadn't won since 1997. So just starting to
Reassert
themselves. Yeah, reinsert themselves. That's up. Doesn't go, but he's fouled, and he'll shoot 2.
Shane Smith stepping up to the line. And John Deo back on the court for Durham. And that one, an uncharacteristic, pretty substantial miss on the free throw from Smith. Second shot, much better.
Yeah, it looked like more of himself as Spencer's about to check in. Chambers will come out. Spencer didn't record any counting stat wheel on the court earlier, but always has an impact on the defensive end.
Just about missed trying to reel that one in. Brings it in just in time. Deo on the cover, and good defense down low by Durham. Maybe disrupts that passing lane just by a little.
Yeah, and I didn't really understand the thought process from Holder. Threw it into the corner. There was nobody in the corner. Marn looking for Spencer. Elliott, he'll fire. He'll knock it down. He's 2 for 2 from 3. He's got 12 already.
Elliott is exactly what this team needs right now. He's a big player for Durham, and he's not gonna go down lightly, and especially if he's on coverage duty against one of the best in the OCAA like he was there with Opena.
Tipped around. And off the backboard. I don't know see what he was seeing there. Elliott faked it. Layup won't go. Rebound. Marn, it doesn't go. It's tipped around. Spencer can't grab it.
And offensive. Good job by John Deo. Draws the foul, takes a little bump to get there. And Algonquin seeming to settle in, but Durham starting to get their feet back under them here in this second quarter. Elliott, pump fake. Spencer kicks it, tipped down to Deo. Slides through, Martin punches it, keeps it alive, but not for very long. Opena. Deo gets in the way briefly. Coverage there, shot up, no good. And good bucket, the Wolves.
Deo fighting. Marn. Elliott's wide open. Thought about shooting it. Gets it to Spencer. Hook shot. Hook is good. Spencer's got his first 2. 33-19. You saw the same intensity the first 5 minutes of the game, and now you're seeing it at the same point in time, just in a different quarter. First 3 minutes, it's been really intense. Durham Lawrence doing what they do best early in this second quarter. This is up for 3.
Opena, no good.
Interesting. He's just struggling, and it's Fahik slowing it down to Spencer. Deo. Fahik to Deo. Finds Elliott. Thought about shooting it. They got to beware now. Spencer, and a great pass. Elliott just dishes it off. It's a platter.
Absolutely. And if you're looking for something where you can distinguish these two teams, not only are you going to look at the shooting percentage, 7 of 16 compared to Durham's 14 of 23, you're looking at points in the paint. Durham's got 20 to Algonquin's 10.
Yeah, just getting inside, making plays. This is across the Fahik. Back across to Deo. He'll fire. Knocking it down. This team can't miss from 3. 4 for 8. 50% shooting.
This Durham team is nasty when they get hot. And in a situation where, you know, you're trying to draw yourself back into this, you can't leave open shooters. You know, we're hearing the calls from the bench. Let them shoot. Think those have quieted by now?
Yeah, you can't let this team shoot because when they're open, they hit. And we talked about them struggling from 3. If they're open, they no longer struggle from 3. They only struggle when you're getting in their grill and making them take tough shots. Good defensive pressure. They break it.
One of Durham's key aspects last year was that ball movement and the ability to always scheme someone open. And seemingly getting back on that horse now. And Rashane Smith fighting low. Probably had Elliott open on a shot from 3. Didn't look it, though.
Yeah, Smith 1 for 3. That doesn't go, but Algonquin have an offensive rebound and bring it out. This is
12 on the clock.
Trying to dance on Elliott. And Elliott hurt himself. But he stays in the play. Fade away. Bucket. What a shot. Texera with the 2. And Elliott doesn't look to be laboring at all.
Just a little stinger walking it off.
Yeah, Deo to Smith. Elliott, one more to Fahik. We'll keep an eye on that as this game progresses. Smith hits a midi. It's just everyone's bag. When they're feeling it, those are the kind of shots that are falling for the Durham Lords.
Say Durham seems to be everywhere all at once. And Algonquin, they don't know who to cover or where to look. Like they've just seemingly gotten lost in the amount of shooters that Durham has that can sink you.
That's a good shot by Galani. Fahik thought about shooting it. It's Deo. Down to Spencer. To Smith. This is up. This doesn't go.
Fahik tried to make a play there, jumping halfway to Mars, but not going to quite come down with that rebound. Loose ball. They're going to call a hold on Durham. And that call officially on John Deo. And honestly, a little bit of a surprising call here. A timeout Durham. As the score sits now. We're looking in a pretty good spot here. Durham up big. And sitting pretty at the moment, of course, up by 13. And for the Wolves, they have been reeling since those opening minutes. They tried to claw themselves back in the first. Had a pretty good job at the time, but, you know, crossed over into that second quarter. And all season it's seeming this Durham Lord squad almost been a little slow in those opening minutes to get themselves started. It's what cost them not once but twice against Centennial. And it's that slow start that can come back to bite you at times. And this time, able to outlast the Wolves. They cross into that second quarter, 10-17 in favor of the Lords on the quarter. 4 minutes to go. And everyone getting themselves back and squared away. Opeña to inbound. And over and back. This is Iacono. Sets up.
Ooh. Elliott just missed.
That would have been on the highlight reel this season, and it wouldn't be close. And Iacono, good job to stop that drive. Even better by Marn, puts a full stop on the play as Iacono comes back down with it.
Fahik
slows it.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Slow it down.
Let Durham keep up. No need to force this fast tempo, and
And the coach for Algonquin is really not happy with the calls right now. Thought that should have been his team's ball. Marr, and it's tipped out. That one will go the way of Algonquin.
Opena trying to sneak by. John Deo has the speed for it, kicks it, looks for three, takes a step, mid shot, no good, and out on Javade Marn. I don't know why Martin is upset about that call. That was pretty well and obvious, the last touch off of him.
I think he wanted a foul call because he might have got pushed in the back, but still, got to come down with that. This is the star. It's up.
Clock.
That's great defense from Elliott.
Tips it to himself there, makes sure that the Lords don't lose possession, up by 13. Fahik playing a little bit of court general, trying to make some moves. Deo. Elliott. Fahik from three, no good. Making their move.
Wide open.
About as pretty as you could ever look for, and still not enough. Javade Marn takes a step, tries to get around Opena. No.
It's just such a tough shot for a one-on-one. You want to create something better for yourself than that. Martin can finish that, though.
A little bit of a shift in coverage, but loose ball.
Elliott's won that, and he's driving all by himself. Over two, he's fouled. He'll shoot some free throws, his first of the game.
A very, very solid player. Of course, over the last 3 years of him with this Lord's Gold. And the Lords still looking to put those final pieces together. Of course, they want that championship run. They want to push for that CCAA title. They said when they made these last couple pickups of Ramel Russell and Matthew Iacono, that those were the plays for that playoff push. Elliott. Up and good. And substitution as Jay Sean Elliott makes his way to the bench. And welcome to the court, Caleb Carter. Takes a second. Algonquin looking to make moves. Get some movement, try and scheme someone open. Iacono on the cover. Does just enough to force a standstill. And looking good. Russell off target.
It's a strange miss for Russell. Good shooter. Just a little bit off. Trying to dance on Carter. Good defender in Carter. Going up. Nothing he can do. He is being dominated defensively, and he's 1 for 5. And we were talking about Jay Sean Elliott's growth. He's gone up 6.6 points per game and almost 3 assists as Caleb Carter can't hit from 3. So went from 10.3 points per game and 3.9 assists to 16.9 points per game and 6.3 assists. Going up almost 2 rebounds per game as well. So it's just stepping into a role, and that's what Durham players have done throughout the years to keep them one of the best teams in the OCAA. Russell.
Takes a second. Iacono down low. Marn.
And a foul called, and Openda can't believe that. Coach of Algonquin not impressed.
And Algonquin's coach calling to Alberto Pena there, trying to get him to, quote, stop ball watching. I will say, it is unusually quiet in here to the point where you can hear the coach that clearly.
Driving. Layup. Doesn't go.
Iacono gets it all the way to Marn. Marn, a little nice lay.
And that's more like the Marn than we know. Fahik impressed. You can hear the clapping. One more. Swing, swing. 3 blocked by Iacono. And Fahik brings it out. This is a great ending to the quarter. Fahik to
Looking to make a
Iacono.
move. Down low, Marn. Great ball movement, schemes out Carter, and he's got it.
And that's a boom for Caleb Carter. 48-29. Thought last quarter was good for the Lords. They lead this one 23-12. And it's tipped. Won by Iacono.
Stolen.
Right before half.
Put
Puts
up
it
a
up.
prayer.
Doesn't go. But the Lords lead by 19 going into halftime.
Durham,
This is dominant by the 9-2 Lords.
Durham has put up an excellent performance here. And we got the OCAA Shoot for Cash contest coming up. Of course, we're going to be seeing that in a little bit. And, of course, a little bit of Lords bump afterwards. Maybe take a quick look at that before we send you guys off to an official break. And we'll be back in just a little bit. Remember, Lords Shoot for Cash. You got a layup, free throw, 3 points, and then a shot from half court for your chance at a grand. We'll be back.
All right, fans, it's time for the OCAA Shoot for Cash contest. Tanner will have a chance to win $1,000 in tonight's contest. He will attempt a layup starting at the three-point circle, a free throw, and a three-point shot. He will be given 2 attempts at each shot. If he is able to make all 3 shots, he will be given 1 chance to shoot from half court for $1,000. Everybody, good luck, man! Woo!
Except he has no idea where the free throw line
Thank you so much, Tanner, for playing in tonight's OCAA Shoot for Cash contest. You are not going home empty-handed, don't you worry. All right, fans, it's now time to play Lord's Bump. Players will line up at the free throw line with the first person in line attempting a free throw. If they miss, they must retrieve their ball and score a basket with the fourth person behind them. If they do, they must go back to the line. If they don't, they're out. Last one standing will win themselves a deep seat swag bag. Let's get it started.
I'm skipping. I know. We gotta, or we turn it, or we get a projector. We turn it.
So I can't see.
They do play. They play February 22nd at 10 a.m. It's 10 Well, hopefully St. Kevin.
freaking night of my life. And wherever it takes me, I'm down for the ride. Baby, don't you know I'm good? Yeah, I'm feeling alright. 'Cause I'm good, yeah, I'm feeling alright. Baby, I'ma have the best freaking night of my life. And wherever it takes me, I'm down for the ride. Baby, don't you know I'm good? Yeah, I'm feeling alright. You know I'm down for whatever tonight. I don't need the final things in life. No matter where I go, it's a good time. Yeah. And I don't need a sitting VIP. Middle of the floor, that's where I'll be. Don't got a lot, but that's enough for me. Yeah. 'Cause I'm good, yeah, I'm feeling alright. Baby, I'ma have the best freaking night of my life. And wherever it takes me, I'm down for the ride. Baby, don't you know I'm good? Yeah, I'm feeling alright. Don't you know I'm good? Yeah, I'm feeling alright. So I just let it go, let it go. Oh, na 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 na, no, I don't care no more, care no more. Oh, na 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 na, so come on, let me know. Put your hands up, na na na, no, baby, nothing's gonna stop us tonight. 'Cause I'm good, yeah, I'm feeling alright. Baby, I'ma have the best freaking night of my life. And wherever it takes me, I'm down for the ride. Baby, don't you know I'm good? Yeah, I'm feeling alright.
We've come a long way since our doors first opened. Though our beginnings were modest, our vision was bold. With each passing decade, we grew. Times changed, and we adapted. We evolved, and we delivered. Market-driven programs that get our grads jobs. Seamless support services that wrap around our students. Sustainable practices that protect our earth. For the past 10 years, our mission ensured that the student experience came first at Durham College. But we've reached a tipping point. As we reflect on all we've accomplished and look closely at where we stand, it's clear.
So that the fans are here for
And welcome back, OCAA men's basketball. The Lords and the Wolves going to battle here. Durham up by 19. sitting at 48 to Algonquin's 29. First in the East, first 6. You know, you're kind of looking at a, I'll say, definite favor in the way of the Lords. And what a fadeaway there.
Yeah, that's quite the shot.
Jay-Sean Elliott. John Deo. Slowing this right down. It's Marn. Elliott takes a second, kicks it. Deo gets low, fires it out, looks for 3, kicks it low once again. Spencer, his own rebound. And Durham in a full press. Spencer the block. And tip, please. They do recover it.
Spencer tried to go up. How does Smith have that? Swings it. Deo wide open. It's good. John Deo from 3.
It's like we're in the shoot around again. And another tip.
Spencer almost tipped it again.
He's going all in right now on these inbounds. He's clearly an excellent player to have on coverage there. And look at this. Algonquin all in their own territory, just trying to break themselves out. Finally cross half court. But Durham's swarming. Not giving anything for free. Everyone covered low. Elliott on that direct coverage sneaks by him. And contact and 1.
Yeah. The Durham Lords clearly trying to bring pressure early on here. It's Vival at the free throw line. Shooting 1 for 2 already.
And no good, and Durham caught unaware. Not going to let that happen twice. Smith with the speed, and Elliott brings it right down. Back to Smith. Deo. Deo moves around. Moon ball over to Marn. All the height. Deo part 2 from 3. No good. And Vival, he's got all the speed, but doesn't have the ball control. Durham poke it away. The difference is 20. Opeña gets rid of it. Back to Opeña now as he's got it here, marching in on Durham. Fade away jumper, good.
Starting to get into what he does best. Hitting shots, making plays. If they want to get back into this, he probably needs to reach that 20 mark. Deo, Elliott thought about it. Tried to get it down low. It's a turnover. Running away with it. And Smith just missed.
And it's turned into a track meet here.
And 1. Javade Marn gets it.
An absolute track meet as both teams were flying up and down the court. No one took more than like a 5-second possession as they were just heaving Hail Marys. And Marn, no good. Elliott the rebound. Elliott kicks. Potential for a 5-point play. Smith.
Marn, ooh.
Pump fake. Deo.
Time running out. Tried to get it into Spencer. It's tipped, and it'll stay Durham's way. But there's a second left. I think you got to try and find someone inside. They try to get it to Marn. It's going the other way. It's a 5-on-1. And they squander it with a missed layup. And Elliott to Marn, who's hounded to Spencer and misses the layup. Hounded, he'll shoot 2 now. And he is coach of the Algonquin Wolves, is not impressed at all.
Well, his team's been getting run up and down the court. Like they're letting these moonball passes walk for free.
7 to go in this third quarter. been a pretty even start. Algonquin leads 8-7. Martin misses the first free throw.
Spencer trying to even up his trip.
Second one
Does
does
so.
go. It's one
And I
one
think
for two, and I believe it was a flagrant foul.
they might attack the coach.
Yeah. I believe it would be a flagrant because you just get the ball plus 2 free throws. Elliott, Spencer, Deo, what a pass. It's up. It's in. Deo is feeling it. He's got 9 points. But he's 3 for 4 from 3. Exactly what you need. Swing inside. Ooh, Elliott just couldn't get that. I thought he was going to pin it.
There have been a couple of those flying ones that Durham have tried to get, just haven't been able to come up with it yet. Spencer fights to get low, and he goes to the line. 2 shots. Deshaun Spencer just had a trip to the line. Looking to right the ship. Sinks his first. And 2 for 2. And Deshaun Spencer, holy motor on this defensive end. And Durham sails the pass from Algonquin, somehow received on a moon ball. Fade away, Opeña.
Yeah, and a good shot, and he's starting to feel like himself. But Spencer on the defensive end, just a hound. That's how you keep yourself in the game. When you're not a great offensive player, it's by making a bunch of plays on defense.
Smart play from Elliott. Slow them right down. Marn from 3. No good. Overdone. Spencer
Spencer's got it.
Rebound. Kicks. Elliott. Elliott from 3. He's coming up short. No foul. And Vaval takes his free 2.
Swinging it to Smith. Deo. Spencer takes it down to Elliott, and he'll dunk.
The jam is all there. And with Durham, never not an option. Deshaun Spencer, another.
This is hounding defense. If you
They're up 20, and they're still doing a full court press.
if you wanted to write a book on defense, you could just take a bunch of pages out of the Durham Lords playbook.
We have a better view from up here almost. His toes were out.
Yeah, I
I don't know.
don't want to question the referee's calls, but you know.
Need to move. 8 seconds. Vaval fighting. No good. Matthew Iacono checks in. And a timeout, Wolves, in response to the switch.
It's been an amazing quarter for the Lords, and not so much defensively, but they're creating so much pressure. When it's been in the half court, they haven't been amazing defensively, but outside of the half court, just creating pressure. They're shooting 56% from the field right now, and the Wolves are yet to hit a 3.
Durham's got 7 of them.
That's a 21-point swing. The Lords lead by 22. And then the points in the paint. Wolves have been doing stuff strictly from the mid-range, which is not an efficient place to shoot. And even then, they're shooting 49% from the field.
Say, not a name you're necessarily expecting in Nestor Vaval to really reach out and kind of drag this Algonquin team through.
Yeah, he scored 2 points in 7 games, and he's got 11 right now.
Clearly finding his spot in the lineup in this back half of the
Yep.
season.
Yep.
If you're looking for one man that's been held quiet that you could say is a decisive problem here for the Wolves being so slow, Alberto Pena.
Yeah, you would have assumed by now he'd be at 11, 12 points. He has 6, and he's 3 for 7, and he's 2 for his last 2 as well.
See, he has back-to-back 30-point games, and Durham has made him a non-factor.
Yeah, and he splits 2 here. Great pass.
Vavo!
And he's showing out. He wants a spot on this team where he can constantly score. That's how you do it. Deo kept it in. Found Spencer. Deo, it's up. Short. And now they're running. Algonquin, good move. It's a miss, and Elliott deals with it.
I think Durham thought that was out.
Carter. Surely a foul. Still finishes, though.
I think the refs are losing track of the play. 22 points the advantage for Durham. Elliott almost snipes that away. Opena pulls up 3. Still can't hit. He's 0 for 3 now from beyond the arc.
Yeah, really struggling is Opena.
Deo. Carter. Making his way around. Fakes the swing. Back to Caleb Carter. Down to Son Spencer. Matthew Iacono kicks it. Deo out to Elliott from 3.
Boom.
Cash money.
Boom, boom, boom. Elliott is taken over. Carter touched the arm to get that steal. Have to agree with that call.
And a substitution here. Rashawn Chambers comes in as Hassan Spencer steps out. Trying to get somewhere. Opena reels that pass in, just about lost it. And sneak past and loose. Put some force behind that one. And still didn't get away with it.
Yeah. 70-45. This is suffocating from the Lords. That was a double team that Elliott got out of. Carter. Iacono. And he's blocked hard. He's hit in the face after, but that's still a block.
I think they jammed his finger there.
Yeah. That's so unlucky for the Lords. He's been a good spot. He's been a good bright spot on this team, and he seems in a lot of pain. He seems in a lot of pain. We don't, of course, speculate on injuries. We hope it's just a lot of pain and no actual damage done. As Carter hits a 3. Or if anything, just a bad bruise. Something he can recover from. But we're hoping he's okay. A lot of pain, though. Chambers trying to defend as he checked in along with Spencer. Good defending.
And finally falls for the Wolves.
26-point game. The Lords will hope to hold on to this. Chambers. Deo.
Cash!
What a shot by Deo. They can't miss from downtown. They're shooting 9 for 22, 41% from 3.
Elliott reels.
And they're shooting 56% from the field. You said they might get to the triple digits. It's looking like it right now if they keep playing like this. You wonder, with the injury to Iacono, do they take their foot off the gas? Chambers with a steal right after I say that.
Well, that pass was just sailed. There was no intended target.
Yeah, Elliott, Deo, inside Chambers, going up and one. The foul.
Doesn't
And the
mean
points.
nothing to him.
Yeah, just super strong. You go up that strong, good things happen. 78-47. Hits the free throw as well. Chambers not a good free throw shooter. You'll like to see that.
Cuts through. The Wolves get there.
Floater is in.
30 points now. Elliott sneaks through. Quick move. Quick
Wow.
play.
Sean Elliott, that is impressive.
And Durham have turned this entire game into a race to 100 in an errant pass. Elliott sneaks through. Carter from three. Butter.
This is insane. The Lord's offense showing out. And even for the biggest Lord's fans, you'll be super impressed with this team.
And no good. Shot from three, the counter. Backing him down. Kicks it. Carter has to jump. Once again, Elliott makes a move. Finds himself wide open. It's off target. Iacono's back in the building.
That's a good sign because he went running out. A lot of pain. And he's back at least to be checked out.
And that one's good. Durham 85 to Algonquin's 52. And 1 of 2 on that as Algonquin comes away rebound. Trying to make anything happen, but Durham, I don't know what they've done in this game, but they've suffocated the Wolves. No foul called. And that desperation shot nowhere close. And Durham is pedal to the metal. And they're not giving up anything right now. You know, they're averaging, you know, second best defense in the league, 71.5 points against on average. They're at 50 after 3.
Yeah.
This isn't particularly. This isn't a particularly close one. Durham, of course, you know, we're talking about the 5th OCAA 43.8 field goal. They're 56 in this one. They have a 44% three-point percentage.
Yeah, that's just not normal for the Lords. As they shoot 31% from 3, 8th in the league. Good, but not this great.
Well, they've also already eclipsed their average points per game, which sits at 82.5. .40 seconds left on this break. You know, we did the check-in for the women's game on, you know, how the playoffs would play out if they were to happen today. Durham would sit the number 1 seed. they'd be playing all the way down to the West 8 seed Niagara Knights. They're sitting at a not so pretty record down there of 5-8. And for Algonquin, they would be playing against the number 3 Mohawk Mountaineers, 9-4. On a little bit of a slow streak though as of late, lost their last 2.
Yeah, Georgian, who sat in first in the East, have lost 2 games in quick succession, allowing the Lords to take back first, even though they have 2 losses, which is the most amount in the last 3 years for a season. Doesn't look like they're going to pick up their 3rd loss here, unless there's a miracle in this 4th quarter.
That would have to be a lot of very, very fast miracles, I'm afraid. Fahik to inbound. Gets away with it. Russell. Takes a second. Kicks it. Back to Rudy Fahik. Works his way down. No good.
Chambers is in pain, and Fahik's in pain.
This is seemingly taking more of a toll on Durham as this win goes on. In a playoff push, you cannot afford losses like this.
Yeah, this is very tough. Fahik's back on his feet and moving well. Still a tough loss as he goes to the bench. We saw Iacono leave again, but carrying the water bottle in both hands. Like he was switching between both. So, and it looked like natural. It wasn't like he was testing it out. So we're hoping that means there's not too much going on. But of course we don't know. We're not down there. Chambers.
You know, we have a bit we keep running, Damon. It's I'm no doctor. And I think we're going to have to keep it rolling today.
Yeah, as Spencer's fighting, and a jump ball will go the way of Algonquin.
And that pass sneaks through.
Great play. It's up for 3.
Vaval well short off the side of the backboard. Caleb Carter takes a step, buries it.
It's up, doesn't go off the backboard. Spencer's
Spencer.
fighting with about 3 Algonquin players. And it'll be Durham ball. I believe that might have been a foul called, yeah.
Kicks it. Ramel Russell tries to find a lane. Loses his coverage. And 1. Or they're going to call it on the floor. 2 shots. Chambers take a couple. I guess they are going to give him the N1. Durham have crossed the 90-point threshold with 8 minutes left to go.
What a shot.
Pena.
That's more like it.
Russell tried to make a no-look play, but got stuffed in return, and
Flip, and then he slips. That's a timeout called by the Lords, as they just don't want any momentum the way of Algonquin, up 31 points.
well, they've been holding on to this near 30-point lead for most of the third, it feels. And Durham has just been on fire, not seeming to slow down. And, you know, the next game for them is going to be against La Cité tomorrow at 2 o'clock. So that one will be an interesting one there. Durham traditionally very, very good against La Cité. Of course, the Coyotes sitting at 1-10, I believe. And also tomorrow, Algonquin doing their tour here of Southern Ontario, this time stretching a little bit further north as they head out to Peterborough to take on the Fleming Phoenix. That one at 3 o'clock.
That'll be a good one for the OCAA. 7:43 to go in this one.
Marn gets some separation, and it's Russell to make a move. Deo sneaks past, fires at Caleb Carter. Good.
Once again, just not missing.
Down low, he's wide open in a tip. Chambers
And a
got his
block.
whole hand on it.
And now a foul called.
Enough blocks there from Durham. Eventually, something's not going to go their way. But, you know, when it's not going your way and you're up by 34, I think it's a little acceptable.
Yeah, and you'd love them to grab the defensive rebound and the possession there. Just didn't come to fruition on that occasion.
And a good rebound off the miss. Deo slows it right down. This one was seemingly over from the opening minutes, and Carter pulls up, and he's got another. Durham 96, Algonquin 60. This one's shaping up to be the biggest margin of victory for Durham all season. And Opeña, not close. Deo takes it down a notch. Russell, Deo. Deo, Chambers.
Off the backboard, off Chambers, out of bounds.
Jaden Genero welcoming into this one. And stuffed. Both teams got to be a little careful, jumping around all over. He's got to get rid of it. Dale finally clears. Sneaks past. He gets away with it. And slows this one down a little bit, trying to break free from his coverage. Kicks it away. Chambers. Chambers running out of time. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Marn down low. Marn, a nice lay.
Plus the foul, too.
Durham a chance to hit 99 here with 6 minutes to go. Up and good. Durham seemingly cannot miss today.
Yeah, this is a very nice scoreline for the Lords.
Martin, good coverage on defense, tries to go a shade over, good enough to get a stop. Turning this one around, Deo is acting as court general today. Feeds it off from El Russell. Running out of time, 10 seconds. Pulls up from the free throw line, and he's going to the line for 2.
Fouled again. The 18th foul from Algonquin, and it's it's Givens. Shavonte Givens checking in.
And Javade Martin steps out. Durham letting those, your typical depth pieces see some playing time. Nice to see in a game that is long ago been decided.
Yeah, this one has been a Lord's win for a while. And that's the 100-point mark. The highest point total in a season, in a game this season, is 129. So I don't think we'll get there. It was Loyalist against La Cité, who Durham will play tomorrow.
And, if they're playing this efficiently right now, you got to wonder what they're going to do against La Cité.
Yeah, it's a poor side in La Cité.
Catching Durham at the wrong time. Loose ball recovered.
It's a La Cité side that's 2-10 and give up just.
They've won their last 2. Beating George Brown and Fleming.
Yeah, in close games. "16 hours from now, they will play the Lords." They beat Fleming today by 2 in an interesting affair. St. Lawrence falls to 4-8 after that. George Brown 3-9 after their loss to La Cité. So those are the bottom 3 teams in the OCAA East right now, with Canadore in dead last at 0-11. That's out in the West.
And finally, a timeout called from Algonquin. I don't know how much you can say.
I don't know what they are going to possibly say in that timeout, if we're going to be honest. I would not envy the coach in that situation. I mean, as athletes, you've been in a fair share of blowouts. But as a coach, that's got to be different. As an athlete, you can almost tune out the world and just get through these last moments. Obviously trying your hardest, trying to prove yourself still. But you're kind of just going through the motions. As a coach, if you're going through the motions, you're almost failing your team. So it's hard. Because it's also like, are you really going to yell at them when you're down 39 points? They already know.
I was saying, it started out as a pretty noisy game from Algonquin, and you could even see it as they broke the huddle. There is
no energy.
There is no energy left today.
And it's also a fact of, like, if you start yelling at them down 39, when are you not going to yell at them? Sometimes you just need to tell them what they have to do better in a calm manner, but it's hard when almost everything is what they have to improve on from this game. So it's a weird spot to be in as a team. Next, they play Fleming. So that'll be a chance for them to pick up a win against the 4-8 Fleming.
So the scary part to me following is just a few days after they play Centennial.
Yeah, Centennial has proved to be a good team.
And Durham extends their lead, back-to-back free throws, Deo.
Yeah, 41 now. Centennial continues to prove themselves. They've had a couple of shake-your-head losses at 8-4. But they beat Durham on 2 occasions, 95-63 and 77-75. clearly showing they have Durham's number.
Genero, good steal. Followed up by Givens, actually pulling it away. Kicks it away. Russell, Givens. Russell back at it. Takes a second. Slowing the game down. Durham trying to use the shot clock. Genero, no good.
Chambers has it.
Down. And Givens just wasn't able to come away with it. And there's the board slapper. And Genero, the counter shot from Algonquin. Both these teams waking up against the board, and not a bad play there from Ramel Russell. And Durham ball. Moving forward, Durham crosses half court. Deo, the ball carrier, gets rid of it. Russell. Out to Genero. And that one ricochets off of him. Moving around here. Algonquin trying to break through. Up and at him, no good. Genero loses it, and Algonquin put one down. Not sure how much you see left in either of these teams. They're kind of just going through the motions.
Yep. So as we look forward, because we're not just going to go through the motions here, we're going to look ahead to the future. The next time the Durham Lords are at the CRWC, it's in a match what looks like it's going to end up being the number 1 and number 2 seed.
It'll probably
Whoever
be the
wins that,
decider.
It probably, I mean, we have seen some shock results, but more than likely, the winner of that game will be the number 1 seed going into the playoffs, and the loser will be the number 2 seed, bar Centennial continuing their amazingness. But they lost to Georgian twice, beat Durham twice. It's been a weird thing for Centennial, but more than likely, that game on February 11th at 8 p.m. will be the deciding factor.
Well, that game especially, if Georgian comes away with that, they would have, I believe, the tiebreaker over both Durham and, of course, with Centennial losing those couple games. They're really out of contention for that top spot unless both of these teams go crashing.
Yeah.
It should be all in the cards for Durham to punch themselves a ticket to.
Well, Durham beat Georgian, so I don't know exactly. I don't know how the tiebreaker would work in that scenario.
I believe it goes to a point total, but I have no idea, and that's a great 3 there. Pulls up from Narnia and puts that one down. Fahik marching forward, trying to find anyone to pass to. Givens is open on the left side. Genero kicks it, Givens, and pulls up Russell. Good from 3.
What a shot for Russell. They haven't hit a shot in a while, actually. Just crazy to say about the Lords. But they're up
Especially
to
in a game like
106.
this.
That's up.
Counter. Put back is good.
Impressive. Just highlighting a couple of Lords. Elliott, 20 points, 9 assists. Carter went 5 for 10 from 3. Javade Marn had 17 points on 9 shots. Deo went 4 for 7 from 3 with
Givens from 3. Cash!
with 5 rebounds and 3 assists. It's just been impressive. And then Laval for Algonquin, really the standout player over there.
What we were talking about, he had 2 points coming into this
Yep,
game.
and he's got 18 in this one.
Make it around 20.
That's up and through. And the Algonquin's starting to hit some shots here, just maybe a little bit too late as it's 109-74. But this is over the amount of points that Durham usually gives up. I don't think they're going to mind too much as Russell loses it out of bounds.
Maybe a Butterfingers accusation there?
Right off the fingertips, so maybe lay off the butter.
And loose ball still recovered. Pull up, midi, good.
And he's making a case for himself. Hackshaw, he's got 7 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. He's 3 for 6 from the field. Trying to get into that rotation.
And Durham happy to walk away with this one. And Russell was having a good time there right at the end, maybe taunting him just a little, but Durham walks away with a decisive victory here. 33 points the difference.
Yep, they improved to 10-2. Algonquin fall to 5-7, and starting to look like they're going to be in that bracket with Fleming, St. Lawrence, and La Cité.
Regardless, that is all we have here for tonight in the CRWC. Myself, Etienne Skitch, beside me.
Damon Huser, thank you, and we will see you tomorrow when they play La Cité.
Have a good night, everybody.